Alright, today we're finally getting around to part 3 of the Tour de Cure, which is the actual ride, or riding 10 miles in Phoenix, Arizona. And in case you happen to recognize that I'm freezing cold right now, I'm actually back at home because I'm volunteering next weekend at Diabetes Destiny outside Philadelphia. So I think that is April 27th-ish. But let's dive into it. Alright, the Tour de Cure in Phoenix, Arizona is ADA's largest event, and it's the first time I ever got to experience it. And normally when you hear ADA, at least in our community, you think type 2 diabetes, but really I think this experience helped me change that mindset, where it's not type 2 versus type 1, it's really type 2 plus type 1, and that's what this experience helped me really see and understand overall. And you can see how excited I was in the morning, because it started a little like this. This is a 100-mile route, so St. Patty's Day right now. Everyone's getting lined up. Sneak over here, I'll capture a shot of them, but super exciting. So ADA, this is 6:30 in the morning, welcome line, and we're lining things up. So, alright, and what was awesome is that the ADA designs things so everyone is included. So there was a 100-mile race, a 62-mile race, a 50-mile race, 25 miles, and the 10. That's the group I was part of. And what's even cooler is that it's only $25 to register, and then a $200 minimum fundraising goal, making it super accessible to everyone. Now I happen to show up really early in the morning so I can cheer on all the 100-mile racers who started off in such an epic way. So check this out. How sick is this? Hot air balloon, riders, start line, super exciting. Woo! Go crush it today! Alright, I have about like 2 or 3 hours to kill from the start of the 100-milers to the beginning of the 10-mile racers. And what's awesome is that at ADA events is that every type 1 and every person living with type 2 diabetes gets to wear a red jersey, which I did not know. So as you're walking around the event, everyone is screaming at you, asking questions, saying, "Go Red Rider, what's going on Red Rider?" And that's how I met people who had lived with the disease for over 50 years, people who had married other type 1 diabetics. Was super awesome. And by the time the race started, and it was St. Patrick's Day by the way, I was super amped. Alrighty, we are off for the 10-mile ride. Look at all these people! Look at all of them! Woo! So exciting. Been here since good 5 a.m. Hopefully I won't fall or hit anyone. And yeah, 10 milers are out and about, so we're gonna be hanging, enjoying this beautiful day. It's gonna be awesome. See these gas lights? That's what my town's really famous for. Walking down my childhood best friend street right now. What is awesome about the 10-mile gang is that it was just a really rowdy group. One, people recognized me. If you've been following the series, they recognized me from the Champions Dinner. And then Jean Medley, who I sat down and interviewed, her life was transformed by a bicycle.
4 years ago, I weighed 325 pounds. Today, I have lost 163 of those pounds. I was 2 types of insulin diabetic, Humalog, and the other one. I no longer take any medication for diabetes. It's controlled through exercise, and the ADA has been amazing in supporting me.
Is that not absolutely
incredible? You're riding.
I love every bit of that story. That's incredible. Thank you for riding.
You're welcome. My story will be in the Diabetes Forecast magazine in the May-June issue.
And what name should they be looking for?
You'll be looking for Jean Medley.
You got it, Jean. I love it.
Thank you.
And yeah, if you haven't watched the interview, you should watch it now. It brought me to tears. But that's where her and I met. And then the 10-mile group would go out for 5 miles, hit a halfway point, get snacks and stuff. There's a super rowdy family there. Today, this family back here. It's like so little energy all around, so. and then we turned back, and of course, it being me, it wouldn't be a proper adventure without getting lost just a little bit before the finish line. In the last moments, Shane and I went off course just a little bit. So, you know, sometimes you have to forge your own path in life, and we're just finishing up. We made one wrong turn at the end, so. Alright, and since this was the first Tour de Cure I ever attended, what it taught me is that we are stronger when we come together and fight the same fight. There are over 1,000 participants that raised $481,153.59. But beyond the money, what this race really taught me is that the type 2 diabetic community are true allies in this fight to find a cure and reduce the burden of our disease. These were people that understood what it really takes to deal with insulin, deal with blood sugars every single day, and they found us to be heroes. That's why the ADA has their Red Rider jerseys, and that is why I believe that they have such a low barrier to entry and make it so everyone feels welcome. So if you've never been to an ADA event, check them out. They probably have them across the US. It was a super rad time, and everyone, thank you for inviting me down to speak, attend, ride. It was super awesome. So go Red Rider, go. Peace out, everyone.
Just last week you called me, the way you're talking is driving me insane. Hello.